Jeffrey Basil will not go back on trial. The former manager of Molly's Pub agreed to a plea deal today that will keep him from facing a jury again. Basil will be in prison for at least 15 years. News 4's Katie Alexander is outside State Supreme Court, where he signed that plea deal this morning. Katie, what do the prosecutors and defense lawyers say about this agreement?
Well, Teresa, both sides say it's fair. Jeffrey Basil will now spend the next 15 to 21 years in state prison. Those were the terms of the plea agreement for first-degree manslaughter he agreed to in a state Supreme Courthouse here this morning, courtroom here this morning. The plea today was made during what was scheduled to be a conference ahead of a second trial for Basil, who fatally pushed Air National Guardsman Bill Sager downstairs at Molly's Pub in May 2014. Basil was convicted of second-degree murder in January, but that conviction was set aside after it came to light that one of the jurors had lied about her past, which could have denied Basil his right to a fair trial by an unbiased jury. Now he's avoiding having to face a jury again, which could have once again come back with a murder conviction, carrying up to life in prison. It could have also come back, though, with a not guilty verdict on all charges, and Basil could have walked free. Both the prosecution and defense had to weigh the options and their odds. Both say they're good with this outcome.
It's not easy, but you have to be realistic and you have to be practical. And we had that first trial, and we all know what happened, and that's why we felt this was the way to go.
Mr. Basil stood up in court, admitted his guilt. The sentence will be appropriate. It will be stiff, 15 to 21 years in state prison. The family can leave today knowing it's finished.
Sager's family was on board with this agreement, and as part of that plea deal, Basil has agreed to waive his right to appeal. That process could have dragged this case out for years in court. Basil is scheduled to be sentenced on July 22nd. Reporting live, Katie Alexander, News 4 at noon.